Hello, I'm Dr. Tadavakaitis here with my good friend and colleague Earl Mendez Segura, and we are involved in an extraordinary project that is the evolution of quantum technology in agriculture. So, my training is that I am a medical doctor, and in the course of my training, desire to create new and better solutions for health. That resulted in my joining with a Scottish physicist named Scott Strachan, and together we created a new form of technology that we call quantum information laser technology, or QILT, or the QI laser. And what this does, it takes an ordinary laser and converts it to a string of very rapid impulses that are on the order of millions of billions of seconds, or millions of nanoseconds. That is a term called femtosecond. This is so fast it is on the order at which, or even faster than the rate at which molecules vibrate and rotate. This allows us to match particular frequency patterns to specific molecular structures and states, so we can create higher energy, better shaped, more efficient molecules. This work began in the biomedical arena, where we took nutrients and increased their efficiency, and have created a series of 12 different protocols, all studied with controlled clinical trials, that show substantial enhancements of the effects of usual nutrients. For example, we've taken a formulation of amino acids, the building blocks of protein, and shown that we make their delivery so efficient to tissue that within 30 days we can increase the function of myocardial tissue by 25% in hearts that are chronically failing, while also doubling collagen production within 30 days. This has been published in a major journal, as well as being granted a U.S. patent in the past year. We have taken these discoveries and applied it to pharmaceutical molecules as well. We've created the world's first new form of aspirin in over 100 years of research that has a very high energy, which has the biochemical potential to allow much reduced dosing, that gets absorbed much faster, works much more quickly, with far reduced side effects. We've not only applied it to aspirin, but we've done this with a series of other therapeutic compounds as well. Through my meeting Earl Mendez Segura and working through his company called Quimcasa, we've taken this opportunity into the very basic stuff of making food. And to get to the essence of it, over 20 years he has developed a series of biodynamic nutrient formulas for plants that includes very active ratios of the nutrient factors that plants use, as well as highly developed probiotic strategies of beneficial bacteria and fungi. We take these already excellent and well-developed formulas and add the intensification and amplification of the laser. We are observing at least 500 to 1,000% improvements in the transport of nutrients and the activity of how these core components work for plants. As the primary example, we've applied it to corn and taking all the nutrient factors and combining it into a singular formula called Q-corn. We find that within 3 to 5 days of applying it to the early stage 2 to 3 leaf state of the plant, that is already visibly enhanced in its growth state. The plants are growing bigger and faster, with better color, higher strength as measured by a factor called the Brix degree, and particularly we're seeing the induction of lots of little white hairs. In fact, we're calling this, for want of a better term, very hairy corn. And these little white hairs are more than just interesting looking. They appear to be a way that the plant can actually absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere and create protein in the plant rather than having to apply as much externally applied chemical nitrate composition. In addition, the technology also enhances the activity of the beneficial bacteria and fungi, such that we see either faster growth of the colonies or growth of larger individual organisms, which make them biologically stronger for their probiotic effects. These effects not only include more efficient fixing of nitrogen to further reduce the externally applied nitrogen that needs to be put in the soil. We also see a effect of inhibiting pathological organisms that could otherwise be very damaging to the plants, particularly the ability to inhibit pathological viruses. As an additional potential, we may be able to activate core biochemicals that are added, so that if we make a more active calcium nitrate, for example, we're able to significantly reduce the quantity that needs to be applied to the soil, not only reducing cost, but also saving the potential harm both to the soil and to the water. One of the byproducts of having physiologically stronger plants is that they become more naturally resistant to a wide variety of stresses and threats, including insect and microbial pests. This may allow further the reduction of insecticides, pesticides, and other chemicals, in some cases even limiting the need for them. All of these factors can reduce the cost of production, can increase the actual quantity of produce, and results in produce that is reduced or fully chemical free in terms of insecticides and pesticides, while particularly increasing the nutritional density, content, and quality of the food. The technology has been consolidated for specific crops, such that there are now already a series of formulas specific to particularly important immediate crops, and this is done by adjusting the trace element composition of the formulations in particular to make it selective for the type of crop. Thus, we already have the formulation that we would call Q corn, Q beans, Q rice, Q soy, Q cane, Q wheat, Q potato, Q tomato, and even Q flowers. In addition to making better produce, it can also make a bigger, better rose that smells much sweeter. In sum, we are taking quantum technology, enhancing the way that molecules work in and on the soil and in the plants, so that we can create much healthier crops, greater yields, higher quality food, a greater nutrient density that is much better for people and the environment.